To be a startup founder is to pitch, right? There is a very low probability that if you're starting a business that you're not going to be pitching someone. It could be clients, could be investors. It's very likely that it's both of those. So today I want to talk to you about some recommendations for creating the best or the perfect pitch for your startup company. My name is Amanda Rabideau. I'm the founder and CEO of Arch Collective. I've served as a fractional CMO for dozens of startup companies over the last several years. I know a thing or two about putting together the right pitch deck to close on your next round of funding. So with that in mind, let's dive in. Think of a pitch deck as more than just a cool presentation for your investors or even for your clients. For the sake of this video, I'm mostly going to focus on pitching to investors. Your pitch deck must say important things about your company, but you may be saying, well, what are those important things? Couldn't they vary from investor to investor? And yes, they can on the nuances. However, there are some fundamental pieces that any investor is going to want to hear about when listening to your pitch. Your pitch must say important things about your business, like the pain point that your product is solving, the total addressable market for your offering, and how you're planning on capturing that market and growing the revenue that you bring into your business in a cost-effective and profitable way. Your pitch deck should also be visual, and it should be packed with digestible data. And above all, carry the genuine impact that leaves investors continuing to think about your business even after you've left the room. In addition to my experience, building the perfect pitch deck is something that the following companies have done with their own style, their own flair that's on brand. And even more importantly, these former startups are still thriving today. Let's start with one of the most recognizable brands out there, Tesla. If you haven't heard of Elon Musk, the CEO and founder of Tesla, I think you've been living under a rock. He is out there in a very big way. While he's controversial about a lot of things, it's hard to argue with the fact that Elon Musk knows his way around a pitch. The electric vehicle giant Tesla starts their pitch with a very bold image on their cover page and immediately introduces the team, the best of Silicon Valley and auto. And it shows gripping data in the simplest forms. Take a tip from their current CEO, Elon Musk, and the thing that I really focus on at Tesla is trying to make the product as compelling as possible. Really, the best way to sell any product is through word of mouth. The key is to have a product that people love. And if you're a Tesla owner, you can relate to the fact that no one loves their Tesla more than the Tesla owner. In addition to the actual slides or the visual that are in the Tesla pitch, Elon Musk knows his way around telling the story that goes along with the pitch slides. He does this by starting with a compelling hook. A hook is a critical part because you've got to capture the investor's intention. Things like a compelling stat, a provocative question, even a short story that demonstrates the pain that someone would feel before they're using your product or offering. These are all ways to hook that audience and get their attention so that they're going to listen to the rest of the important things that you have to say about your company. The takeaway around Tesla is, while it's important to have a great and compelling set of visual slides, more important is the story and the way that you hook investors when you walk in the room. Next up is Airbnb. Airbnb, as we all know it, was originally pitched to investors as air, bed, and breakfast. Hence, Airbnb. The eye-catching blue and pink branding, combined with a minimalist approach, netted the startup $600,000 in investment back in 2008. In addition to their branding, their elevator pitch was a key component in what made Airbnb stand out to investors. At the heart of their elevator pitch was one core statement. On their slides, they actually had this core statement written in big, bold letters, which was that we are going to take 10% of every transaction. This statement did two things. It made it clear to investors that they were confident in their ability to capture revenue in the marketplace, and that they could then equate it back to what the TAM is and the revenue that they were going to capture, so that the investors would know what the revenue projections would be. So the takeaway from Airbnb: have compelling stats and data that demonstrate the revenue capabilities and how you're looking to make money in your particular industry. Our third example is Slack. Slack is a business communication tool that was started in 2009 and was acquired by Salesforce for around $27 billion. In fact, their original pitch deck still uses the same logo that we're used to seeing today. After a brief overview of the company, comes up a slide that demonstrates both the problem as well as the solution to that problem. Being able to tie together the problem and the solution that you're offering is pitch deck gold. You don't need to make a big to-do of this, or as one of my former mentors used to say, don't make it a mystery novel. Let investors know up front that you know the problem, that it's a valuable problem to solve, and that you're actually providing the solution to that problem. So the takeaway is let the investors know up front what the problem is that you're solving and how exactly you're addressing your target audience's pain points. The next one we're going to talk about is Uber. While it is consistent that startup founders can be controversial, I don't think it's hard to argue that Uber and the fast follow startups like Lyft have certainly changed the way that we move throughout the United States as well as across the world. Although the tech highlighted in the pitch deck that they made back in 2008 is outdated, like anyone remember a BlackBerry, the clean visuals, USPs, and elevator pitch remain very much the same. Uber made sure to highlight their key differentiators, which is a major draw for investors savvy enough to recognize that Uber was on the precipice of transforming and disrupting the entire personal transportation forever. Uber made sure to highlight their key differentiators. So the takeaway, don't be afraid to talk about how you're different, or what we affectionately call the moat. Think of the moat as when you have a castle, you have a moat around it that protects others from getting in. Your differentiators are your moat and what separates you from the status quo or the other companies out there trying to do something similar. And last up, is Softer. This one you may not be as familiar with, but this is an opportunity to prove that you don't have to be a big company in order to prove success with your pitch deck. Softer is a successful no-code tech startup company. This app development SaaS uses snippets, testimonials, examples of possible products, and an embedded product demo so viewers would know exactly what's on offer. This bright and interactive pitch deck helped Softer snag their Series A round of funding of over $12 million in 2022. The final word. Before building your pitch deck, you need to build your brand that reflects your startup's story and values. Book a 15-minute introductory call with one of the members of Arch Collective, and we can talk to you about how we can build your brand in just a matter of weeks. And if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.